What's up, everyone? Welcome to the weekly sauce updates number 1. This is going to be a completely different type of video. This video is going to have almost no editing in it, no nothing. This is just going to be something I'm going to do every weekend, and basically it's just going to kind of be like a update for the business. Gonna just kind of talk for a little bit, just kind of provide as some value, give kind of an insight. This is my idea of like building in public. As everybody is doing that right now. So this is just me doing that exact same thing. So kind of like what these weekly updates are going to be. They're either going to come out on Saturdays or Sundays. And it's basically just going to be going over community growth for the 3-pillar framework, kind of like what's happening there. My personal brand growth, like how that's going. Some live media buying, either with myself or some of our like clients that we are potentially getting ready to like work more closely with. Which is really cool. And then just kind of my general like thoughts, comments, concerns. Just gonna kind of sit here and talk with you a little bit and just see how that goes. So first things first is let's kind of just like jump into the community a little bit. So the community is actually doing really, really well right now. We have probably about 500 a month coming in. Recurring revenue, which is cool. And on top of that, we have 8 trials in progress with about a 33% trial conversion rate. I think this is going to go higher because this is definitely new. And on top of that, we have a 2.65% conversion rate, which I would actually like to be better. And so I think what I'm going to be doing to kind of get that conversion rate a little bit higher is I'm going to update this video. I've been hesitant on it just because this is like a very basic video showing what's inside the community. I'm maybe even toying with the idea of like updating my about page just because, I don't know, there's a lot here and I'm going to kind of get into this, but I think the framework is really, really good, and we're having some like good members join the group, and we're having really good retention rates too of people joining because we're providing a lot of value, right? Just tons and tons of value in the community. And I'm obviously like working to provide more. And a lot of these modules are coming soon, like the branding module, the marketing, your first 14 days. So we're trying to strive to provide more value towards our clients and the people who are in the community. And that's what we're really, really trying to do. So to get this conversion rate, because it can be way higher, and then also we just need more traffic coming in, which is ads basically and organic content. So I'm going to be trying to get this conversion rate up, just because I want more people to at least just sign up for the trial to see how much value is actually in this community. I don't think like it's portrayed enough, even in the beginning, of like just how packed and loaded this is. Another thing I'm noticing is I kind of want to gamify the Skool community. So to get more active community members, like actually people in here talking, like Tristan over here, like introducing themselves in the community. So what I think I'm going to do is everything is in phases right now. And I think that I'm going to start making it to where like this Facebook ads phase, once these other modules are completely done, this Facebook ads is level unlock. So if I like go over here, edit course, and like level, so like you get it to level 1 or people who upgrade annually. I think I'm gonna do that just because, and I don't know if I want to even do an annual membership. So if you have no idea, like Skool has the option to do annual memberships. I don't think I want to do that. So yeah, it's kind of my thoughts here for the community. Is I'm going to be working on, a couple more like back-end things, just some videos the first 14 days. By the way, I don't think I mentioned this. This video can be really long, so I'm not going to edit anything in here. I'm just talking to you, and that's all we're going to be doing. So yeah, I think we're going to do some community unlocks, just basic like level 1, and then, maybe down here for the advanced, once that's done, like level 2 or 3 or whatever we want to get there. So just basically unlocking them as people have to be a little bit more engagement, especially because it is a trial. And the churn rate on trials, I would say, is probably right now like 40%. Because there is some guys who are just getting in, they're like, they just want the content and leave, which is okay, right? So this is what's going on with the community. I think it's really, really cool. And we're going to kind of change this up a little bit, especially the no agencies part of things. I've slowly developed a new mindset over that. And I think there's certain types of agencies that just don't make sense. And then there are certain types of agencies that do really make sense for home service businesses and just providing them to service-based businesses too. Like there's agencies that do make sense. So that's kind of what's going on with the community. I would definitely love to see more growth here. Like I was expecting more growth in the beginning, not gonna lie. But I've kind of sat back and realized like, hey, this is going to take more time. We're building something up that's really really cool, and those types of things take longer than expected, unfortunately. So that's kind of what's going to be going on here with the framework community, and I'm just so excited for that. Moving on to, can we go ahead and see like kind of how brand growth is going? It's slow, so it's definitely a little bit slower, but overall, like I'm not super mad. So, when did I start this? So for anybody wondering, we're gonna try and post almost every single day except one day on the weekends. Um, and I think I started it kind of over here. What's today? The 20th. I think I started on the 14th. And then we started posting, and views are actually going up. So this one video is actually doing more views than anything in terms of the long form content. It's not really doing anything like super crazy. We're getting a couple views. We have this one that has like 114 views. So I'm really okay with this too, because I know it's a volume game, and at the end of the day too, like I just started testing thumbnails. I know like the more value that I put out there and the more value that I provide to the world, in a sense of just free value, and just like here's this, even this video of just kind of showing like what I'm doing to try and build the business for myself on my side of things is going to be really informative for some people. And so I know like my time will come kind of thing, and it's just a matter of time. I just hope it's not like years, because I would love to start building the channel and like getting some feedback and getting comments from people to be like, hey, what about this? Because every video I'm going to try and answer comments, unless it gets too crazy, and then we'll just kind of put that on as like a separate thing. But I think overall, there we go. I think overall, like this is really solid growth in my eyes. Like I'm happy to see this, and especially this. Like this is the highest performing shorts, and obviously having shorts too is really nice because they do get a lot more views. So you can see here, like there's just a ton more views coming in, which I am super happy about. We got my first dislike, which is cool. I'm okay with the hate. It's okay. So yeah, the YouTube game is hard, but it's actually really fun getting to just see what's going on and to try and grow that. On the Instagram side of things, we're doing pretty good. We're getting a good amount of followers coming in per day. And in terms of that, like we're trying to do at least bare minimum is 1 post a day. I'm trying to get 3 a day. And Instagram's hard for me because it's like I feel like I just have to go and like yap about a topic. Instead of deep diving into one, I have to like make a short, simple topic about something. So it's really hard to me, for me. And I would rather like talk. Yeah, I don't know. Instagram's a struggle. I think what I'm going to start doing is kind of more like when it comes up, but at least, getting content out daily, I think is really important. In terms of views, pardon me, in terms of views, everything is pretty solid. Like I'm happy with like 200 to 300 views per reel. It just kind of shows me like what's really working, what's engaging. We're not running any type of follower funnel currently, any type of view funnel, anything like that. We are just kind of going with, organic content, organic reach with this side of things, which is totally fine for me because in terms of like the follower funnel, I'm going to say it, it's just overused. I think, there's a lot of like coaches and people out there right now that are helping service-based businesses. And I just think it's so like seen right now with business owners and even my clients right now. Like I'm talking to them on a daily basis and they're like, man, this is crazy. Like we can see what's going on. And it's just, for me, like, I think it's just a little overused right now in terms of attracting clients. And I think providing more value in different ways is better for me. So we've steered clear for that. Obviously, like back in the beginning, we were preaching Instagram. And now I've fully realized like if you're going after like home service businesses, you have to provide more value. You have to give them more value than just learning how to launch one simple Instagram ad. It won't work. It might get them a couple of clients, but in terms of like long-term success and long-term brand building, they need a lot more. I experienced that with Valley Home too. So that's kind of what we're gearing more towards, is actually helping, providing a lot more value and showing what actually is sticking right now. Here's the fun one. So for Skool, we are currently running ads towards the Skool community to get people to start their trials. And this is the ad account for that. And the results for this have been okay. Let's put it that way. You can see here, like, we're at a 1.3, a 1.8 ROAS. The results have been okay. We have a couple of winning ads that are doing good, but me in particular, like, I'm spending a lot of money on this, $100 a day, and it's just not what I want to see. And so the ad creative probably needs to be a little bit better, and that's what I'm going to focus on. But I also have a really big dilemma, right? So the ads are doing okay. This ad right here, this one in particular, the result on results, has been kind of the driving factor for the Skool community. So if I go to broad 25 over here, I just kind of look at the ads for this one. Let me get this out of the way. If you just kind of look at the ads for this one, you can see that it's just prioritized the spend like crazy on this one, and it barely spent anything besides this one, which, funny enough, had a okay per purchase. I wonder why I didn't spend, but all of the other ones, it was just like, I am not going to spend money on these. And so I went ahead and just created a new ad set, forcing the testing, and I put the old one in there again. Of course, it just started spending the budget once again on this one and this one too. So this one had a little bit of a better purchase, like the 147 for me, and I've let this campaign run for 3 days, and I can already see it again. Like, this one, just in my eyes, I just have a gut feeling that it's not going to perform. And typically, I don't know what it is. Every time I've had a gut feeling with ads, it's typically right. So I think this one's going to be better, and it's going to start spending the budget on hopefully these other ones, because like they just have not spent anything. And this one's like a banger ad. So I'm wondering what's going on with these. Hopefully Facebook is going to start spending on them, trying to get some impressions to hopefully get some purchases. And with this, like, running ads to a Skool community is a completely different type of marketing. It's sales-based. Like, it's more of an e-commerce type of marketing, which is cool, but it's different for me. So I'm really learning that side of things. Running ads in a local town to get businesses or leads in your local area is just 10 times easier than, trying to run ads to a Skool community and get people to start trials and converting trials. Like, it's a lot more. But I know long-term, like, that Skool community is going to help a lot of businesses, and it's going to help a lot of people in general. Next point, I'm going to talk about maybe even marketers, help a lot of them, because it's just packed full of value. And yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's going to be the easiest way for me to help as many people as possible. The goal was to help 100 people by the end of this year. I don't think that's going to happen. If it does, that's cool. But I think this Skool community is going to be the easiest way for me to help the majority amount of people, amount of businesses, and also, pick some really good businesses to kind of work with one-on-one. Because right now, I know I have a good skill set. I know I can market really well for home service businesses. I want to pick and choose the businesses I work with that I can see scaling. I can see that I can come into the business and market and grow in multiple aspects. So that's cool. That's a fun side of things that I'm kind of really working on. And I'm going to obviously keep you guys updated. I'm not going to do anything to this campaign for this entire week. So I will update you guys on how this campaign is going to be performing next week, because I have a feeling that hopefully it starts to spend on the other ad sets. If it doesn't, I think we're going to just honestly, it's like turn off the ad. And cause I want it to spend. I want it to spend on these other ad sets. And it will eventually spend, but in like how much time? So just hasn't even tried. So we're going to probably do that. And other than that, like, it's been pretty good. The tint company's ads are off right now because we're really focusing on marketing. I'm going to talk on that a little bit later. But yeah, you can see here we did the follower funnel for a hot one day. And then I was like, you know what? I don't even want to do it, because I just think it's overused, in my opinion. I see visit my Instagram profile everywhere. You can only get so far. So and by all means, I'm not the expert. Oh, I'm not even showing my screen. Sorry about that. By all means, I'm not the 100% guru on follower funnels. Some people say it's the bee's knees. I think it's great for marketing companies to get clients. I don't think it's great for home service businesses to be relying entirely, like their entire lead generation and their entire systems and scaling processes on that. I don't think it's effective. It's great for brand. So, yeah, there's my rant on that side of things. So, kind of this is where I get into my dilemma. I'm just gonna kind of draw here a little bit, and you'd have to bear with me on my terrible drawing. But so I have a little bit of a dilemma, right, within the company. So the first thing is we have the 3P framework, so the 3-pillar framework, right? The school community, and wow, I'm gonna hopefully get better at drawing, right? So we have the framework, which is awesome, right? And we're currently, running ads, top of funnel. So we have, top of funnel ads running to start a free trial, and then everyone will convert to $99 a month, right? Which is, in a sense, is like, okay, cool. The whole goal to this is to also build some monthly reoccurring. Obviously, we'd love to build that. And then to also like pick and choose, like I feel like the businesses that are going to be joining this are more high intent. Because it's kind of like a one step, and then we can pick and choose from there, like what businesses we would want to work with on the other side of the company, which is a little bit more agency side. So here's the dilemma, though. Like this is all awesome. Like everything works good. I am for some reason attracting a lot of marketers, and I think that's okay. Like a lot of marketers are following me, and that's cool with me. Like if you're a marketer and you're watching this, like sweet, welcome to the community. Welcome to me. But I'm also trying to attract home businesses, like home service businesses. So we're just gonna write home serve biz because I'm crazy. So like these are my two. This is my ICP. Like this is who I'm primarily trying to attract, you could say. And right now we're getting like a even amount of both. So I have a dilemma. Clearly I'm attracting home service businesses because we have the results to scale them, and our framework really actually does work really, really well for home service. And it works for service based as well. Like we have an event rental company that did pretty good with our framework, but we're also attracting a lot of marketers. And my idea of this is like I'm not mad because with the marketing side of things, right? So if we kind of came over here and let's just say like, well, that's crazy. We're gonna come over here, right? So with the marketing side of things, I'm okay with attracting marketers because I feel like at the end of the day, it's just going to help them market better. So if I can help marketers do better, right? So you do better, right? You could say like I'm happy with that. And I think for agencies, right? And this is a hot topic, and this is a part of my dilemma. I've always preached that agencies are a bad thing, and that's what I've been preaching for a long time. Is that everybody can do this themselves. Teach a man how to fish. It's 10 times better than having someone fish for you. I also think now that this is somewhat wrong. Agencies that are only doing like lead gen, and they're maybe not in your town. Agencies that are only doing lead gen, they're from another state, they're just not. It's a typical like $500 a month, right? We generate you leads, you film the content, you send it back, we manage your ad campaign for $500 a month. I think like just that model. So the 500 a month, only lead gen is still like not a good model. I don't think that helps business owners at all. I do think, on the other hand, agencies that actually provide more value to the business. And what I mean by that is like there's multiple ways to provide value. There's ways to provide value in their branding, their content, And then on top of that, their ads. So lead gen. So like that's a total another, like it's not even ads, it's lead gen. And this can go into multiple factors of like Facebook. So we'll actually just say Meta. Please, guys, I'm so sorry that the writing is a little rough here. Meta ads. It's on the ground strategies. And then on top of that, it's like a nurturing. So I think agencies that actually provide value to a business, they're helping with brand, they're helping with content, they're helping with lead gen. And then on top of that too, if they're just also helping with like revenue generating activities, so revenue growth. Wow, that was a terrible G. With just revenue growth, I think these are the key, right? So I think this is where a good agency actually should be, is they should actually be providing value to the customer through brand, through content, through lead gen, and through revenue growth. It's really hard to do when you're not with them, right? You're not in the same state as them. So this is like where everybody is like, oh, I want to target all the businesses online and all of this and all of that. And the problem is like that's great. There's just hundreds of people doing that. So if you're a marketer, watching this, like the biggest thing you can do to actually provide a lot of value is help them with their brand, help them with content, help them with lead gen. And lead gen is a bigger thing than most people realize. It's meta ads, it's on the ground strategies, it's nurturing. And then on top of that, it's even to like, you can go down here and it's a GMB optimization, making sure they look good everywhere. So you can even add up here as socials, right? And you can start to see how like this is a lot for a business, and this is like a lot for businesses to start to grow. And this is where my dilemma is right now. So with me, I'm primarily targeting, home service businesses. Like that's my ICP is home service businesses. We're getting some marketers though. And so I'm almost debating if trying to attract both, right? And funneling it as for marketers and home service to market better is okay. Because right now the marketers are joining and they're not talking to me because they feel like, and I feel like some of them do, but I feel like a lot of them are like joining because they want to see what's inside, they want to steal the stuff and then leave. I'm okay with that. That doesn't bug me, but I would actually like to help them more and see like what I can do to help them market better if they are an agency owner. Because at the end of the day, agencies that are doing this old model of like, let me manage your ads for you, it's just gone. And I feel like business owners know that. And the real way that people are like providing value is really like a full on type of service for home service guys or local businesses in general. I'm really struggling to draw a good looking box, right? So I think this is where the model of an agency still makes sense today. They're handling a lot of the lead gen, but they're handling a lot of the content, the branding, and the revenue growth. They are striving for bottom and top line. So I think that's where the model makes sense. And for me, like I'm getting ready to possibly do this with a couple of people. So I'm personally gonna like stop dissing on agencies because I feel like it can be a good model for some businesses because some guys like they just need more help and it's hard to hire an entire marketing department, especially if you're at like $1 million a year. It's hard to hire a marketing department. It's easier to hire sales, but then like if the business owner is really struggling in the marketing department, then it could make sense to add agencies. So I'm gonna stop probably saying like no agencies, like and actually maybe start leaning into like marketers and home service businesses. And at the end of the day, like if this is the case, I'm gonna get two things out of it. I'm gonna get marketers that want to help businesses more, right? So they want to actually provide a valuable service, right? I'm gonna get guys who want to like give value. So they're gonna provide a valuable service to people. And at the end of the day, they're just going to become better, right? So that's what's going to happen is they're going They're going to market better. They're going to actually provide value to people. They're actually going to provide a service that really, really matters. It's not just going to be, one of these typical cash grabs and go. It's actually going to be, cash for the business to basically, in a sense, generate more cash, right? And that's okay. So if that's the case, and we start targeting marketers and we're kind of helping them with providing more value, better, and we'll probably also ascend them to more of like a marketing type of thing where it's 189, 189 a month. This is long term thinking, and it's more geared towards marketing for businesses. So like it's marketing for biz. And then on top of that, we're still going to obviously have my main focus is always my home service guys. So I'm going to be focusing on them. And then we have a couple of businesses. Like I've gotten to the point where I've helped 30 plus different home service businesses. And, I've gotten some really good results. And I can say that because I know I'm good at it. So I've gotten them really good results. And a couple of them reach back out and they're like, hey, like we want to do this again. And I was like, well, the whole point of it is you learn it yourself. And they're like, well, you're really good at it. And I was like, okay. So I'm going to, possibly look in that realm of like helping some businesses longer term. What does that look like? Not sure. We're going to think about it. So this is like, obviously we're still going to be providing the home service businesses. The easiest way is to, market with marketing, content, and systems, because there's some guys out there who want to do everything themselves. And I think that is fantastic because you need to learn it at the end of the day. Like, yes, this is valuable to a company. When you provide them with brand, you provide them content, you provide them with lead gen and revenue growth, it's valuable. But at the end of the day, they're going to be like, hey, I could probably do this myself. And so at the same time, like we want to be able to teach them that. So whether that means like you start them off as a done for you service and then they transfer to like done with you or consulting basis, like that's cool. But that's kind of where I'm thinking of going is, targeting both. And I don't know. I don't know if that's like shooting myself in the foot, but I think in a sense, it's the same ICP. These people want to get more clients, right? Or they want to provide a better, more valuable service to their clients. So I think we could definitely help them with that because some of the marketers are like, yeah, I applied this to my client and it really helped them. I was like, cool, that's cool with me. And then the next thing is also, home service businesses, supplying them with marketing content and systems to scale. And then hand picking a select few of those companies to work with me one-on-one is something I would like to do as well. And this is down the road as well, like hand picking a couple of companies like, hey, I think we can scale you. I think us working together is a good option and I see growth. And with that, like at the end of the day, I can look at a couple companies and be like, yeah, I see growth. I see revenue. I want to work with you. And then there's a couple of other companies where it's like, I don't see this. I'm sorry. Like you're not there yet. So typically I'm going after the companies that are like around the $1 million mark, right? And that's what I want to target is companies at $1 million to work with me on one-to-one. And then everybody else is like, hey, like you just need to master this. You need to master the essentials first. So that's kind of my dilemma. And I don't think I have anything else. I do actually. So one other thing that I've gotten a couple questions about is, and let me just kind of actually go up here. I don't know why it's going so zoomed in. Is what's going on with Valley Home? And so for anybody wondering what Valley Home is, or Valley Home Tinting, it's my home service tinting company. And we went out of the gate kicking. Oh man, I'm not sharing my screen. Sorry guys, this is what I was talking about earlier. I don't have my screen's over here, as you can see. So it's I wonder how long I've just been talking like that. So yeah, this is kind of what we're looking to do. Man, I really hope that wasn't too long. And then those guys are gonna work one-on-one with me. So yeah, what's going on with Valley Home, right? Like what's happening there? And well, because it's winter. What? Wait, hold on. I thought it was gonna be blue. It's winter, right? So the snow is falling, and winter's coming. It's getting cold, and so that has just kind of plummeted the amount of inbound. And it's not just from ads. My organic because we focused. I had a lot of organic coming in. I would say probably for Valley Home, I would probably say 70% ads, which is okay. Oh, well, that's interesting. 70% ads, and then I had a brain fart there. 30% organic. And both of these together just like plummeted. So like the second, it didn't even get cold, right? It just got like a little bit cooler, hoodie weather. And that's when I noticed like everything was starting to plummet. And so I was like, okay, that's okay. Because I was having a bunch of my home service guys who are like, hey, let's work one-on-one. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm down with that. If you want to work one-on-one, we can work one-on-one as well. And so that's kind of where I'm going with that. And then this as well, like we're still working on it, but I have a mystery partner. So potential. I don't want to like put this like out there. He might even be watching this right now. But like I'm possibly looking to partner with somebody on this. And the biggest reason is like I started the home service business. I started this to show, right, to give proof that this actually works, right? And that was my whole idea, was to proof that this works, that the 3-pillar framework can work in a home service business. And it did, right? We generated $30,000 in 60 days, with 45% profit margins, just me and my girlfriend, which is really cool. So I know like the framework works. Now it's like, okay, I've proven it works. I've created a company. What do I want to do with that company? And I do want to grow it, but I feel like I'm more of this. You know, this is my love. This is where I really excel, is providing value through marketing, and through home service businesses and to all other marketers as well. I think that's where I am the best. And so in terms of my home service business, my partner, I'm potentially looking at taking over, you know, a majority, you know, whether that be 60 to 80%. Wow, that is a funny looking 8 right there. 80%, and they're going to kind of take over potentially. This is in talks, very beginning. Like we've had like one conversation over it. We still have a lot to do in terms of like financials and all of that. So, and we're gonna continue talking on this. We've just been thinking about it. So, this is basically put on the back burner till spring, and I'm okay with that because we're still doing some jobs that come in here and there. But like right now, this is just on the back burner till spring, and I think that's kind of where it's gonna stay for a little while until spring comes along, until this kind of meets, and then we wonder what are we gonna do. So yeah, it was really fun to build, don't get me wrong. It was really, really hard to build the home service business, and if you're a home service guy, like how hard it is. Clients are crazy, consumers are crazy. I personally have seen my knowledge really be in the marketing and helping people with content, marketing content and systems. Like this is where I'm good at. So that's kind of where I'm going. It's kind of where my business is. It's a little bit crazy right now in terms of like the community members that we have going on. We're trying to go really hard on content, Instagram. This is the ads that definitely could be better. Probably gonna let these ones ride this next week till next Saturday. And then maybe test some new creatives and see what we're going on. I mean, this cost per purchase is not bad. The problem is not every trial is going to convert, right? So this is I want to aim for like 50% of trials converting. I feel like that's good. I would love to push to 75, but I feel like that's just an outrageous expectation. So that's what I'm doing for this. We're going to get away from the no agency thing because I think agencies that actually provide value to the company are worth their weight in gold. This type of agency is going to be anywhere from $2,500 to $4,000 a month, right? Like a good one. A good one's going to be this. They're going to be $2,500 to $4,000 a month, and this to a certain type of business is valuable. is, when you help them with the brand, you help them with the content and content that is nurturing content. You help them with, lead gen on your socials, on ads, on the ground methods to nurturing GMB. It's more so like you're not an agency anymore. You're a partner, right? And so like that's where I think the model's going. Is you're a growth partner. Growth partner in the business. And I think that's where this price tag makes sense to companies. It wouldn't make sense if it was just this, right? Like this doesn't make sense anymore. So I think agencies can be good if they do it right. If they actually provide value, they help with brand, they help with content, they help with lead gen, revenue, social, meta ads, on the ground, nurturing GMB. And like this, I have a couple of companies that are looking at me for this. And I used to be the guy who always preached against agencies. And I think that's going away. For me personally, like I'm going to stop doing that because I think some agencies are really, really good. And it's just the marketer in me that is like, agencies no, right? So that's where we're going to go. So yeah, thanks for listening to me ramble. This was the weekly sauce update, number 1. It's just kind of going over everything. And yeah, I think that was everything I wanted to talk about today. We talked about growth. We talked about YouTube channel, Instagram, framework, marketers, pulling away from agencies and like kind of being good about them. And then, putting the business on pause. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of everything I was going to talk about for this week. Obviously, like this is just me brain dumping. I definitely have ADHD. So this is just me brain dumping and seeing like, where am I going to take the company? Where is, Danzy Media going to go? Where's the 3-pillar framework going to go? And just continually, trying to provide as much value as humanly possible to, these 2 people here. Right now it's just this one, but, maybe this one starts to creep in. I think it's going to. I think, we are going to maybe open it up kind of like this route and see if that will help people. Because at the end of the day, like if I can help marketers be better marketers to home service businesses and like really, and like I'd be very picky on this, like helping marketers not so much focus on the money, but focusing on actually providing, revenue growth to a company. That's where they're going to be seen as more valuable. They're actually going to be seen as like, okay, this is good. And that's where you really start to see people shine and companies shine. And I actually have a company that I worked with that is in this type of thing here. Oops. That is this, and they provide a lot of growth to people. And they're higher than this. They're, around the 6K mark a month, which is great. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of legwork. It's a lot of content management, but this is a lot of work, but it's a lot of value that you're going to be providing. So I kind of think of it as like a growth partner kind of vibe. But I've heard this term somewhere on the internet, so I don't want to say it's a growth partner. But yeah, so this is kind of what we're going on. Valley Home is, on the hold back for spring, just because the cold kind of made it go down. The 3-pillar framework is doing really good. We're building that MRR, which is nice. And, you do that. If you want to build recurring revenue, you just do that by providing a ton of value. And I feel like the community members in here have seen the value. We've gotten a couple wins coming in. So, yeah, super, super fun. Justin, if you're seeing this, guy's absolutely killing it. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on, and that's a little bit of everything. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this weekly sauce update. It's just me talking, nothing crazy, nothing too insane. So thank you so much. And if you do like this content, go watch the other ones. If you want to learn more, come check out the 3-pillar framework. You can start today for free, 7 days. Learn a ton about marketing in home service businesses. Marketing content systems is what's actually needed to scale. So other than that, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you all in the next video.